Got some hockey. Yay. Alright, resign phase. I actually have a handful of coaches to rehire. Oops. I don't want to listen to my voice. That is not the greatest. Alright. So, Marlowe just wants to be the associate coach. I am going to hire a head coach, I think. Goalie coach. Let's do it. And then I have to hire an AHL goalie coach. Same deal. The only coach I need to hire is an assistant coach because that's the one that retired. Scouts with expiring contracts. There should be a few. My best scout is my NHL scout. So I should look and see if I can get any better in the QMJHL, the WHL, and Russia this year. That's where I should be looking into. Okay. Best play or play best free agent is Big Sam. There we go. Okay. Centers. Malatesta, he's been fine. Good fourth line depth for the Hurricanes here. Obviously, not a great NHL player. Obviously, he has 3 NHL seasons under his belt, but yet 35 points. He's close to being a good pick for us, though, so that's good. Um, I'm gonna re-sign Maverick Bork and Reichel, both of those guys. I'm not gonna bring Little back, but I will sign Gustafson just as some depth. Left wingers, Brendan Perlini wants a new contract. He wasn't that great this past year. He's been fine, but I think I can upgrade elsewhere. And honestly, I may just need to give the team a little bit of breathing. I mean, may need to give players a little bit of breathing room here. Gunler doesn't want a new contract. I'm going to qualify him. I'm going to let Tiexela go. And then I'm going to sign both Krog and Robbins here. Defensively, Michael Goodrow has been fine. Hamilton this past year, I think I was kind of trying to phase him out or something, but I don't think I'm going to bring Dougie back. He's 33. Just makes no sense to me. I'm also going to let Honka go. I can't see myself using him. Um, I'll bring Setoff back, but not Semenov. I'm going to definitely bring in Emmerich. What's this guy's name? Joey Emmerich. And then I'm also going to bring in Mass. I think I'm going to let Curry and Zubov head to free agency. Goaltending. So here's what I'm looking at right now. I have Carter and Chris. Perfect. Beach, as much as I'd love to, I don't think we really have a spot for him. Plus, Bloom would be better, so I'm not going to keep him. I'm going to qualify him and then try and trade him, because I think that'll work out for me. I have another medium elite goalie in the system, and, ooh, this guy is really good. There's no point in leaving him in his league. So we'll go ahead and sign him. When was he picked? He was a fourth round pick. What? So that's absurd. That's awesome. All right, cool. So already the future of the team's looking pretty bright. We're gonna make a few changes, but nothing that great. All right, so here's all the players. Let's just make sure everybody says yes. All right, so we'll send to free agency now that we have nothing else to do. Here's just a few more scouts signing contracts. We might have a couple guys accept qualifying offers here, but I doubt it. Yeah. Okay, well, Bork signed. Okay. Yeah, the goalie coaches didn't want to sign. That's fine. Okay. Um. So before I guess we get into like the actual cool stuff, we're gonna take a look. It was WHL, QMJHL, and Russia this year. Just to see. Actually, there's a better OHL scout. Don't know how good our OHL scouting department is. That might not hurt to add. So the WHL this year, there's just a B minus, so that's not an upgrade. QMJHL, same deal, it's just C's. And Russia, there's just C's. So let's see how good my OHL team is, or OHL scouting team is. A minus and B minus. So that's actually an upgrade if I signed this OHL scout, or not this one. This OHL scout, A plus in terms of shooting, defense, and skating with an A. Pretty much A's all around. Efficiency is an A, and discovery is an A minus. So this is a really good scout to add to my scouting staff. When you compare it to this guy, whose evaluation abilities, I mean, like, is B minus in a couple areas. He has 2 A's, but yeah, it's just it's an upgrade for sure. Coaching staff, I have to make 3 hires real quick. I have to hire a head coach. Because right now I just have an associate and assistant. So let's take a look at what I can afford. This guy. Gage Howe, not a fit. 62%, that's pretty good. Pretty middle of the road though, so it doesn't look like a whole team would like him. This one's okay. Svech and Aho like him a fair amount. Mm, uh, uh. So was it this guy? No. It was this guy. So this guy is going to be my new head coach, I think. I need to hire a new assistant. Petrov is always my assistant, or I always try and hire him, and no other team does. You would think that he would want to hire him, or to be hired, but whatever. Rypian doesn't want to be signed by us. Whatever, I don't actually care. Assistant coaches now for the AHL. Obviously, I just need a goalie coach. We'll just offer a little bit more money, see what happens. Alright, now the team. I have to figure out what the hell I'm doing. So we traded a few players. We had a decent draft. And now I'm left with a little bit of stuff. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centers. Pretty good. That's solid. 1, 2, 3 wingers. I could definitely use a top 6 left winger. And then 1, 2, 3. I could use like a Brendan Perlini type. Okay, and then defense I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fine. I'm fine with that. So I need third line right winger, a second line left winger. And then I need to trade the goalie. You know a franchise left winger you could get. You're funny. I'm gonna try trading this guy for a third round pick. Yeah. I can't, again, he's just a goalie that I won't use. Alright. So just for 3 right wing, 2 left wing. Just typing that in there. So I need a good second line left winger. Kevin Fiala would be nice. He would fit on forward line 3. Honestly, I mean, I don't want to give him a 5-year deal. I can give him 3 years, and I think that would be perfect. And then I need like a third line right winger, so we'll go a little further down. Jesse Lonen, that's an option for sure. If there aren't any better right wingers available, I may have to circle back. Yeah, it's looking like Ylonen might be the best bet just to add him to the team. I could bring back Brendan Perlini, but I do want an actual right winger. So we'll bring in Ylonen for 1 year at way too much money. 2-way. Alright. This Engel player, good prospect. I have a few spots available on the team. I don't make it. Timander here. This is another good prospect. And Edwards is a little older, but sure. Just fill in some of the depth on that team. Perfect. I don't think I need to make any other changes to the team. I've brought in a few good prospects. Yeah, now we wait. Alright, so I got my new scout. Cool. I got my NHL assistant coach, which is weird. And the goalie coach. That's strange as well. And my AHL goalie coach. Wow. Successful. Okay. The role offer I have is already filled. So Timander did not accept. Do I have to I have to fire Marlowe. That's so stupid that I have to do that shit. What was the guy's name? Scavello? Or was it Jaspers? It was Jaspers. Yeah. Now Chicago wants him. Oh, no, they don't. They're not taking this guy away from me. Alright, so I got... Okay, I didn't get my right winger. If I relied on the prospects to develop, that wouldn't be like an awful thing. I got Fiala. That was the big one that I needed. Damn. Oh. Wait. This guy might have been my head coach already at some point. I don't think we have the budget to do this, and I don't know why our coaching salary is so low. Andrei Vasilevsky for Landeskog. That's a weird trade. You bastard. Oh my god. Am I really not going to have a head coach? See, the thing is, there's a handful of players that that guy is good for, but none of them are at the top. That's not how it's Geisbers. Whatever. He has to be, because I don't have another option for my head coach. Oh my god. That's an option. See, Will doesn't like him, but most of the the rest of the team does. That's another option. Marlowe is also a good fit. I could honestly just bring Marlowe back as my head coach, and I wouldn't hate it. Oops. We're going to keep him as the head coach, hopefully. We'll see what that does to the team. Oh, shut up. Alright, well, we got our coach. I'm not going to accept this trade. Mar was up to a 69 last season. In his first year, medium elite Latino, 72. So he grew into a 72. I'm not going to accept that trade. Heck no. Alright. Here's a few players accepting their qualifying offers. Pionk traded to Toronto. That's hilarious. Oh, McShorzy the Jerk traded to Nashville. So my team has a goalie, at least. So that should be the rest of the players accepting qualifying offers, and I should be good to go now. Lots of trades, huh? Wow. Well, we're going to be heading into the 2026-2027 season pretty soon. There we are. And we have roster moves. Okay. I like that. I'm beginning to think Suzuki isn't a fit for the team, huh? Okay. I'm fine with keeping it as is because we have two prospects. We have our four of our bottom six players could grow. Hoping Reese doesn't stay as an 82 overall. He's a really good fit on the second line, but I don't want to put him there. Like, I'd rather have Bach there. But yeah, Big Sam really only fits on the bottom six here, which kind of sucks. But that's just how it's going to be. I like it. I like this. It's a team that can develop. I'd rather do that. Although Klingberg could regress this season, so let's stick with that for now. Chris has taken over, and the medium elite potential might be nice. We actually have like a okay goalie tandem now. Charlotte, I have a very good team that could be helpful. This team could win another championship, but we will go. Oh, thank you. Did you like the meme, the Prince Pretty meme? I thought it was hilarious. As the current NXT Tag Team Champ, Roland McEwen has a lot on his plate. Alright, so we're going to do this. I'm not like sold on this team's coaching staff yet. I also now know that I have to get like assistant coaches that fit the team. And that's like ultra important. So I'm going to start doing that next season. Like when I have some expiring contracts on my coaching staff, I'm going to have to make some changes. Because if I get coaches that fit the system, then I think it ends up working out. All right, so we lost the first game of the season to the Washington Capitals. Again, like, we're a better team. I don't know if we're a great team yet, but I do know that we're a good team. So I will need to pay close attention to this roster as the season goes along and just kind of figure out, like, where can I um, improve. But right now, we're 4-1-0. Central Scouting has released the draft rankings, so let's see what's going on with the draft this year. Projected to go first overall is Joe Bookboom. Projected medium elite with a Backstrom comparison, so pretty unsurprising. And no gems or busts so far. So it's a pretty average draft class, I'd say. All right, a 5-3 win. So the Canes are winning games. It's a pretty good start to the season, actually. And with 11 games in the month of October, it's actually one of our busier months of October that we've had in this stream, which is kind of crazy, but like, we rarely have more than 10 games. Um, Last game of the month against LA, it's a 4-2 win, so the Canes are 8-3-0 and second in the division currently with a game in hand on the Caps. So pretty solid overall. I mean, obviously it's not a perfect record, but I am really happy with that. I'm really happy with the results that we've had. I probably should have looked at that Pulak trade. Not gonna lie. All right, there's a win against the Islanders, keeping us in the playoff hunt. It is still pretty early. I'm not gonna say yes to that. Werenski would give us a just stupid defense. All right, so we're out of a playoff spot currently. We've actually played in a lot of games compared to the rest of the division, which is kind of weird. With an abdominal strain, Will Looper is out for a little bit. And yeah, the Canes are back to their losing ways here. The month of November is where we really got screwed up last time, too. We've only won 2 games this month. Guriev is back for Charlotte. Cool. But yeah, the month of October is where we really started screwing up. Back-to-back shootout wins is awesome, though. And okay, let's make it 3 shootout wins in a row. All right. Going against Minnesota, not a great team this year, and we win. A bit of a weaker draft class, they say. So that'll be interesting to keep a track of. A good New Jersey team faces us next, and the Canes shut them out 1-0. So the Canes get their first shutout victory of the season. And we're 15-9-1, so the front end of that month was really terrible. Aho's out for a month, though. That sucks. But Will's back. Yeah, I mean, Canes really showed up that last half of that month, and now they're on a pretty hefty win streak here. So we know a good bit about the first half, or the first little bit of the first round, which is awesome. Um, yeah, there's another win. So the Canes have quite a few wins in a row now, and have worked their way up to second in the division at the last time I was able to see it. There's a loss, unfortunately, to the Sharks, but that's all right. Canes are still, chugging 6 players, and there's another win though in that game. So the Canes getting a win. All right, Edmonton. That's a 2-1 win. Okay, I like it. I like it. And the Blue Jackets. We beat the Blue Jackets as well. Awesome. Back-to-back games against Metropolitan teams. The Rangers, one of the last place teams, and the Blue Jackets, a wild card team. Both wins for the Canes. All right, Islanders, that's a win. Tampa, that's a win. So the Canes, first in the division, but Pittsburgh does have 3 games in hand on the Canes. So it's definitely been a heavier workload the first half of the season than we're used to. Charlotte is down a forward in Morgan Edwards. The Canes actually are on a long win streak. Aho's back. Well, it was a long ass win streak. Will is out with a mild concussion, so he's gotten hurt a couple times this season, unfortunately. Game against the Caps here. Canes lose, unfortunately, but you know what? It's fine. Will is back. Both the games Will was out, we actually lost, so that's tough. But we won the next game. Yay! Seems like the top 3 teams in the division this year are all very good. Nashville, my players' team, still sucks. Big Sam out with a mild concussion. Everybody's getting concussed this season. But we beat the Penguins and the Islanders. That's another shutout win for the Canes. Another 1-0 shutout win. Really interesting. I'm going to stick with the best lines. They haven't failed me yet. There's another win. Okay. And we head into the break with a 2-game win streak. Not really a streak, but we've won 2 in a row. And a big 5-3 win against the Wild. The January draft rankings show that we still don't know anything about Mike Winchester, but pretty much everybody else has been scouted in the top 7. Still no gems. It's a weaker draft class, so I wouldn't expect our scouting staff to find too many gems. Nakis is back, though, for the Hurricanes. And we're 3 points back of the Caps with a game in hand. And yeah, a bit of a Western Conference theme to the post-break era, but we have 69 points so far with a 33-14-3 record at February 1st. I'm feeling pretty confident to go to, not April 1st. The last game of the season, which is against Trevor Michaels' Buffalo Sabres. Canes are still doing pretty well. There's another win. All right, so this last game will be against the last Metropolitan team, or the last Western Conference team for a little bit. Actually, not even. No, we'll go and play 2 games at home against Metropolitan teams, and then we'll go back on the road to Chicago. All right. No, I wasn't going to say yes to that. So the Canes are riding a 5-game win streak right now. At least, I think it's 5 games. 6 with that win against New Jersey. Playing against Chicago now. And the Canes lose, so the win streak gets snapped. But still a pretty solid win streak. You beat a couple really good teams. Nino traded to Calgary as a part of a four players heading to Calgary. And Philly gets a prospect and a second-round pick. That's got to be a really good prospect for that haul. All right, well, that's a 3-1 win over Florida after a brief losing streak of 2 games. Canes still have a game in hand. And there we go, 3-game win streak with wins over Montreal and LA. Canes offense has actually done really well this season. When they've lost, it's typically been like a low-scoring game, but that's fine. As long as they're winning games, I don't really care. So there's a 4-game win streak, 5 with that win over the Rangers. The trade deadline has passed, and there's 2 straight losses to Western Conference teams. Picking it back up, though, the Canes are first in the division. Marco Dano on waivers. I'm okay. 7-0 win over the Flyers. Jeez. There's some more wins. Okay. All right. Canes have hit 100 points with a shutout win over the Capitals, have clinched a playoff spot with a win over Toronto. So the Carolina Hurricanes are looking to be a very good team this year, coached by Patrick Marleau. And there's a starter goalie projected as a gem, Quinn Binaural? I think that's how you say it. Oh well, I don't really care. All right. Huge 5-game win streak, 6 games with that win against Calgary, a 2-1 win. 7 with a shutout win, our second shutout of the win streak. 8 with a win over the Devils. 9. Oh. Oh. All right. I mean, it's fine. You know, we've clinched the conference. What more could you hope for? Chris Miracle out with an injured arm until the 8th. Luckily, the Hurricanes are going to be okay because Chris is back. Last game of the season against the Buffalo Sabres. We have nothing to really lose in this game. Fiala scores for the Canes. Canes win thanks to a goal from Michael Goodrow, Mato, and Aho. So the Canes winning 4-2. Final game of the year, giving them a 56-22-4 record with 116 points. After not making the playoffs last year and finishing as the 13th worst team in the league, and getting the 13th overall pick, it's really nice to see us bouncing back in a very big way. I like that. Svetch leading the team with 75 points. Big Sam and Sebastian Aho each with 73. Aho missed 12 games and easily could have been over a point per game. He actually was. Big Sam missed 2 games. Will missed a handful of games and still finished with 63 points. So quite a few injuries in the top end of this team, but they still had 3 70-point scorers and a guy who hit 60 points. Big Sam actually led the team in goals. Aho leads the team in assists. And yeah, so Klingberg and Hanifin and Fabro, 3 defensemen on this team finished with 40-plus points. That's crazy. Shea had 36. Rookie skaters, we had a handful of them this season. I guess Nakis was the only one, and he had 12 points. He did miss a handful of games with a broken jaw. Goaltending, I'm legitimately curious. So Chris Miracle was technically the starter this year and had 4 shutouts. Carter had the better save percentage, but it was actually pretty even overall. Chris is still an 85. Carter's still an 85, so it doesn't really change anything. The Buffalo Sabres, Trevor had 91 points, and my players, Nashville Predators, had 87. I had 87 points and 49 goals. Who led the league in goal scoring this year? I'm legitimately curious. Intern Matty. So my player was actually pretty close, but it wasn't that high scoring of a year for the NHL, it looks like. McDavid led the league in points, along with Sagan as the top 2-point scorers. And yeah, so it's the Canes versus the Penguins. Not the best matchup that I would have hoped for, but it's not. I don't think we've played the Penguins yet this time through, so I'm okay with it. First period, game 1, Big Sam scoring right away. Kahun getting a goal for the Penguins in the first period. Second period, Intern Matty's power play goal takes the lead for a brief moment, but Aho and Svechnikov both score on power plays, and the Canes have a 3-2 lead heading into the third. Third period, Fiala gets a goal just as an insurance marker, and the Carolina Hurricanes win game 1. Colorado won their game 8-5. My goodness. So Charlotte has lost a player to injury. And we're heading into game 2. Aho had 2 points in that game. Just a solid effort from the Hurricanes. First period, Suzuki with the power play goal. So the Canes' power play has been great so far. Second period, that's another power play goal from Salio this time. Interesting. And the third period, power play goal from Fiala. And then an even strength goal for him. Will and Mato get goals for the Hurricanes. So just a butt-kicking 6-0 shutout win. Fiala's having a good series. 4 points. The Canes, I mean, in general, they have 10 goals in 2 games. I mean, you can't really complain. But here we go. Game 3, Pittsburgh takes the lead. McGinn and Kahun scoring in the first period. Second period, It's 4-1. Kreider and intern Maddie scoring. Svechnikov does get a goal for the Canes. Third period, Svech gets his second. Monto gets two. He's having actually a decent playoff series as well. But Pittsburgh takes game 3, and the AHL season is over. Krug is back for Charlotte just in time for their playoff series against the Hartford Wolfpack, and the Checkers have the game 1 win with an overtime win, so interesting to keep an eye on that there. Nothing doing in the first period for game 4 for the Canes and Penguins. Second period, Evgeny Svechnikov scores his first of the series. Third period, it's a tie series. Pittsburgh wins 3-0. Definitely not the response from the Canes that I wanted. Will Looper is out for a while too. So that hurts the Canes. They lose a top 6 forward due to a concussion. All right, game 5. Intern Maddie and Gensel score. Second period, nothing. The Canes haven't scored a goal in a while, and Malatesta gets a power play goal because why is he on the power play? All right, game 6. Canes need a win here. All right, first period, Svech gets 2 goals in the first period. Second period, there's a hat trick for Svech. Third period, Aho gets a goal. Canes force game 7. They wow, Svech has 6 goals in 6 games. That's crazy. Yeah, this series, the Canes blew a 2-0 lead, so whatever. Game 7, first period, intern Maddie scores. The second period, that's another goal from intern Maddie. And the third period, that's a shutout fucking loss. They got shut out twice this series and scored 1 goal in another game. Charlotte moving on to the second round, though. Great. Losing Will might have helped, but I doubt it. All right, Charlotte had an injury. Doesn't look like they've advanced, but I could be wrong. It doesn't appear so. And there's a medium top 6 forward in the second round, too, which is great. Cool. All right. Florida wins the Cup. Syracuse wins the Calder. And yeah, not anything too crazy. So the Canes are going to be getting, I think, the 27th overall pick, which is pretty awful. Still just the 2 gems in this draft. We'll view the retired players just to kind of see the top. Crosby calls it a career, as do Taves and Carlson. Pretty upset. Like, I don't know how we could have lost that game or that series. Like, we got out to a 2-0 lead. We were dominant, and then we just sucked. I don't know what it was. Tanev and Carlson are now coaches, and I won't have to hire any new coaches due to retirement, but might want to consider hiring a new coach or 2. I don't care about the awards. I'm sorry. Trevor, you didn't win anything. Neither did my player. So the 27th overall pick, your Carolina Hurricanes will be selecting Roman Plekanec, probably. NHL ready. Interesting. A Lucic comparison isn't the best, but his readiness is NHL ready. 80 overall! 80! With the 27th overall pick! What a pick for the Hurricanes. Wow. Wow. I've never seen that. Ever. 58th overall pick. Alright, that makes me happy. We have an NHL player already. I don't need goalies. I've already drafted plenty of them, so we're going to go with the center here. Dubois. 63 overall is not bad. Medium top 9 is just kind of but whatever. 79th overall. I need left wingers in the system. So Stanislav Radulov, that's my guy there. 89th overall, so a little bit further from that. And yeah, there's not a whole lot available. I'll come back to that. Let's see if there's any like potential steals in like the late rounds. There's a possible low elite who's not that great, but he is just 19, so it's not terrible. There's a couple potential low top sixes. There's there's an actual low top 4D. He'll be available by the next time I make a pick. So, we'll pick the defenseman here in Carson Rafalski. And then we'll go to the next time I make a pick. To grab, yeah, Carson Rafalski. 49 overall isn't great, but medium top 4D is pretty solid, so that might turn into something good. I'm still like blown away by that. All right, Alec Edwards here. He is the best player available, medium top 9 forward. There were still a handful of guys here. I think I'm going to pick Nelson Graves, the possible low elite. Yeah, definite low elite. 53 overall is not good, but there's potential there for growth, and you know, why not? Low elites sometimes turn into good things. So again, I'm going to see what I can get. Oh, he's 20. Never mind. Yeah, I guess there's nothing great available. So I'll just grab the goalie just because, you know, why not? And I'll wrap a fantastic draft up. Like, I don't think I've had a better first round pick. You know? Alright, I'm gonna try firing everybody except for Marlowe. Alright, AHL head coach wants a contract. He's been fine, I think. I honestly have no complaints. I don't really care too much about the NHL scouting. So yeah, again, I'm going to look at QMJHL, WHL, and Russia. Okay, so we'll go to the contracts and see what's up. Best free agents this year are Hanifin and Klingberg. All expiring. I'm definitely going to bring back Hanifin. He's been great. 7 years is a little much. I probably should have looked at that, huh? Klingberg, just for 1 year, I think that's fine. Probably means he's going to retire. Reese, I'll offer a contract to him. I'll give a contract to Malatesta, but I don't think I'm ever going to use him. And I'll just qualify Bork. Salio does not want a contract. I was actually kind of impressed with him, I think. So we'll offer him like a fairly substantial amount of money. Mato doesn't want a contract either. I'm fine with that because we're going to put the other guy in there, the new guy I just drafted. So Ted Christensen, former first round pick from 2 years ago, signed. Right wingers, I'm going to definitely sign Pollock. Wow, look at that. Gunler, okay. And then Metropolit, I'm definitely going to sign. So look at this. I'm actually getting like decent players now. Oops. Defenseman here. I don't really want to sign any of these guys. I'll just qualify Guriev, and then that'll be it. I'll just let these three guys go to free agency. Um, Ulbricht has not developed at all, and that sucks. Goaltending. Humphreys. I'm going to have to keep around just because I don't have a goalie in this system that's good enough yet to replace him. So, yeah. Bloom will be NHL ready next year, and I'll have to make a decision on which goalie to keep. It might be Chris Miracle that leaves. Unsigned. Obviously, this guy is the best prospect in the system. There's a lot of players from this last draft that I had, or like the draft just before we stopped. So this guy, 13th overall pick. This guy, 44th overall. This guy, 16th overall. This guy, 3rd round. This guy, 18th overall. So like I have 5 prospects that will be in the system next year. 6 if this guy works out. And that's probably it. So that'd be huge for me. Obviously, this past draft, I don't know a lot of these players, like how they're going to work out, but let's see what's going on with this. So, AHL head coach has accepted. Plekanec accepted. Here's everybody just saying yes to me, which is fantastic. Sensational. Bork's going to accept his qualifying offer, as did Guriev. Okay. So it was QMJHL, WHL, and Russia, just to kind of see if I can make those improvements. And again, it doesn't really look like I can. WHL, no, definitely not. QMJHL, there's a guy that would actually be an upgrade, so I'm actually going to sign him. It's a small upgrade, but it's an upgrade. And then Russia, there's not an upgrade. So we'll fire this scout. Then we'll go to coaching. I need to hire 3 new coaches. I need to get an NHL associate coach that fits the team. 69. Nice. Preferably a guy with like decent teaching. So I'm actually going to, you know what, this was the best guy that I could find. We'll give him a decent amount of money. There's our coach. Assistant coaches, same deal. I need to find a guy with like pretty good team fit. 68% is really nice. 68%. 72. So Petrov actually was a good coach for me. Goalie coaches, here's a guy that's good with goalies. 54% isn't great. I guess I could just do this. So it looks like I'm bringing back my coaching staff for the most part. They fit the team. But I did want to see if that changed anything. Oops. Well, no, let's do this. I can check and see if there's a head coach that I could sign later. I don't think I need to make any additions to the team. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 centers. 1, 2, 3, 4 left wingers. 1, 2, 3, 4 right wingers, so I'm fine there. Defensively, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Zadorov isn't a fit for the team, so I'm actually going to try and find a better defenseman. I didn't think it would work. Alright. Cool. So I'm actually going to try and find a defenseman that fits the third pair a little better. But that's all that I need to add. Oh, I could add Dahlin. Oh, he doesn't fit. Damn it. Heiskanen. All of the PK. No. I need to find like an actual third pairing defenseman. Jonas Brodin. All defensive pairings. I don't want him for any more than 1 year. Yeah, he's an RFA though, and I'm not trying to do a qualifying offer. I have a legit top pair. I'll be looking at defensemen like him when they're UFAs. Two-way. There's Ustorf. I've added a couple right wing prospects in the past. So that's a little unfortunate. And then we'll add Hopkins as well, and that is all that I need. Coaching staff. I guess we'll look and see if there are any better head coaches. I doubt it, but you know. Head coach. Ones that I can afford. 70% team fit. Okay. 69%. And that's a little more even. 61. 64 isn't terrible. 57's pretty bad. 72. Oh, this guy was the guy that didn't want to freaking sign. So it seems like everybody but Will and Fabro like this guy. This was the guy that I was thinking. Because in order to do that, I would just fire Marlowe and then I'd have the budget. Let's do it. Got my new QMJHL scout. I didn't get my goalie coach, apparently. I didn't get my assistant coach. Okay. So. %66%. 61%. 73%. That's the guy I want as my assistant coach. He fits the team perfectly. He doesn't, but he's a goalie coach. Doesn't like matter too much. All right. Julien Gauthier to Vegas. Wow. Horvat to Tampa. All right, I got my associate coach. Boom, I got my new head coach that fits the team. Hell yeah. I got Jonas Brodin. I got Max Ustorf, the prospect. Just advance. I got my NHL assistant coach, and I just need the goalie coach. Boom. There's my team. This could be the best team yet. Ekman Larson to Edmonton. Wow. Kasha to Vegas? Interesting. Jeff Skinner, Tampa. Oh. All right. Just a couple players accepting qualifying offers here. Gonna say no to all this. So I have 2 first-round picks in the draft coming up. Stelio Matheos wants to come back. No thanks. Kale Fleury. No. Nope. Hmm. Don't really see how necessary that is. All right. Joel Edmondson, no. All right. So it doesn't really look like we have a whole lot going on here. We'll edit the lines to wait and see. I mean, I'm cool with that. The first line works out really well. I'm gonna do this because that makes the third line really good. Um, I'm gonna do that because I want the fourth line. This guy only rolls 3 lines though. I'll do that. Splechanic really fits this third line. It's actually the line he fits the most, which is perfect. Quite a few prospects. I like this. I like this setup we have going on here. I like that the first line is phenomenal. Defensively. Oh, man. Shea is regressing, which sucks, and so is Klingberg, but 3 pairs with +3 overall. Goalie, like chef kiss. Goaltending, kind of hoping that Chris is the... I hope he improves to at least like an 86 to make me want to keep him. Special teams looking great. Scratched Malatesta and Akis, that's fine. We have a legitimate team. The AHL now. Mar, very close to the NHL. Probably would have been in it this past season, but I'm fine with keeping him down there. And we're good. So the Carolina Hurricanes have a solid roster right now. Very solid team. We'll sim to February 1st and see if they look as good in real life, or well, in the sim as they do on paper. Zucker traded to Winnipeg for McCabe. Bit of a weird trade that doesn't really seem to benefit any team. All right, preseason's almost over. Now that the preseason is complete, we will go to the amateur scouts. We're good on that. Canes beat the Rangers, shutting them out in the first game of the season at home. There's another shutout win, 3-0 over the Canucks. All right, Canes on a 5-game win streak to start the season. Here's a game against Dallas, and it is a loss. So the Canes get their first loss, but it's fine. The 2027 draft, what is going on here? Medium franchise. Sniper. Lemieux comparison, that's probably the second best as to Gretzky. He lacks size, but like, who cares? Franchise. So that'll be an option for me. I think one thing keeping us from a cup is that we actually do lack like franchise talent. Like we have Svech, we have Aho, but we don't have like a franchise left winger on that line. I know that guy's a right winger, but like, we'll make it work. So that's probably in the cards for my team. There's a win against Boston to get us just back into the winning track. We had lost 3 of our last 4 games prior to that. Klingberg out with a pulled groin until the 13th. That's a little rough, but I think we'll be okay. Big win against Arizona and Vegas, even though Klingberg was out, so that's good news. Shootout loss, a little tough, but we're still kicking it. We're still doing well. There's a big win against the Colorado Avalanche. We've played a lot of games on the road here, so it'll be nice to get this 6-game homestand underway with a win against the Red Wings. And the 14-2-1 Avalanche beat us. Klingberg is back officially, so that's good news. We get a top defenseman back for the team. It's a very tough year in the Metro once again, though. There's a shootout loss, but against the Devils, we win. All right. Big win against the Maple Leafs as well. Finishing up the homestand, so we did go. We went 3-2-1. Not a great homestand, actually. It's pretty bad. But you know what? 7 out of 12 points isn't awful. You get over half of the points. But what's awful is that the Canes are once again, like... Oops, Fetch out with a concussion. They're teetering, they're towing the line here. There's a big win against the Kings to kind of put us back on track. But again, it's just such a tight race for the playoffs in this division. There's about 5 or 6 teams in this division that are legitimately good. Fabro out with a concussion, so the Canes are losing all sorts of players. Svech is back for the game against Toronto, which is when he was projected to be back. The December draft rankings show that we really don't know much more. It has been about 2 months, and we still don't know any real details about gems in this draft, which is fine. 5-4 loss, though, against the Maple Leafs. Not great. Breaks up a bit of a win streak that we had. Fabro is back for the game against the Coyotes. We have a win against the Canadiens, but then we lose to the Caps. So pretty much back and forth hockey here. Injured shoulder for Svech keeps him out for exactly 1 week. Luckily, he doesn't miss too many games. Ugh, I don't like that he's back already. Shootout win against the Red Wings is solid. Canes got to beat Pittsburgh here. Got to put that team behind you. Yeah, injured shoulder for Svech keeps him out. He's already back. Okay. He's going to be out again. Weird trade, but no. That's a win for the Canes. Okay. It does go to overtime against both Metro teams, so it's a little unfortunate that we give points to 2 Metro teams, but we're fine. 3-game win streak with that win over the Flyers. Let's go back to the Flyers. 5 games in a row against Metropolitan teams. Fabro's out till the 7th. And all right, we have 5 straight wins against Metropolitan teams. Emmerich out with a mild concussion for Charlotte. And Fabro is back for the game against the Islanders. Make it 6 games in a row with a 6-0 shutout of the Senators. Then we beat the Islanders to make it 7 games. 8 with a win against the Lightning. Aho is out with an injured stomach. Yikes. 9 with an 8-2 win over Buffalo. My goodness. Emmerich's back for Charlotte. Aho is back. 10-game winning streak with that win against the Blues. 11. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. All right. And the winning streak is over with the loss to the Senators, but it's all right. It's all right. Big win there just to keep. I mean, the Canes are doing really well. They're first in the division right now, and then they go into a break. January rankings, we know a little bit more about. We know everything about the top 5 or the top 6. We also know that there's a gem in the late 3rd round, early 4th. Nasir Gorin, a tall power forward with good shooting. Everything else seems to be kind of but that's pretty good. We also know that this guy's a bust, late 1st round pick. So Pollock is able to play for Charlotte. We don't know what that win against that game against Vancouver was. I'm gonna say it was a win. And yeah, so the Hurricanes are 14 and 4, so it was actually a loss to Vancouver. Tampa gets Casey Middlestat from Buffalo, so it looks like Buffalo is actually selling. And we are 34-14 and 4 heading into February 1st. I think we're safe to sim to April 6th, which is the last game of the season. Pretty light workload for the month of February. Obviously, you know, we don't have like too many games that month. Ooh, Bach out with an injured knee. Hope he's all right. There's a couple days where we have like long stretches. Panda traded to the Rangers, Hedel to Chicago, so it's pretty even trade actually. The Rangers, I guess, looking for a defenseman to keep the team afloat here in the playoff race. And Hedel's, I guess, also 3 years older, so trade kind of makes sense. Not really, though. All right. Well, the Canes, it's been a pretty much back and forth month. Goldobin traded to Colorado from Los Angeles. We play Los Angeles in a week, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there. The Islanders trade DiPietro to Florida and get Luostarinen, which is a weird deal. Skuen traded from Philly to Calgary. Wow. Canes beat the Rangers, even with that addition to their roster, which is kind of funny. And the Florida Panthers, with their new goalie, actually beat us in overtime. So Canes were like, they had a 10-point lead over first in the division at one point. Now it is just 1 point. Big 5-0 shutout win over the Wild, though. Seems like we're going to get a big trade coming up as the game hasn't moved. Yep. So Cameron Bass traded to Boston. That is not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see created goalies in the Western Conference. So it sucks a little bit that happened. Barbashev traded to Colorado. Canes beat LA. So they traded somebody. So that helped us out a little bit in that game. All right. Big loss to Winnipeg and to Florida. So here come the Canes, though, with a win against the Bruins. We're no longer first in the division. We lose to Chicago, but beat the Blues and now have first in the division with a win over the Dallas Stars. There's one win against the Blue Jackets, and then we lose to Buffalo. So, I mean, you know, yeah. March draft rankings, it has been 2 months, and we know a little bit. We don't know much about Nasir Gorin still, so since he's a gem, I am going to go with a potential and comparison scouting trip on him. I legitimately want to know what his deal is. Yeah, very back and forth hockey so far this month. Suzuki out with a broken nose until the 13th. That's tough. It's a couple big wins for the Canes, though. A shootout loss to the Caps, so the Caps have officially clinched, and we lose to them. So chances are we're not going to win the division. Looks like we'll be playing the Blue Jackets, but we are a playoff team. Looks like we'll be playing the Blue Jackets. Suzuki is back. Okay. All right. And if we win this game, we could get home ice advantage. I don't see how it would really matter, though. Fiala and Svetch with 2 power play goals. Big Sam with 1. There's a goal from Plekanec. And the Canes shut out the Blue Jackets in the last game of the season, so that's a big win for the Canes. And they take first in the division with that. Oh, I didn't realize that was against the Blue Jackets. So that was a battle for first in the division, or for second. Okay, cool. Home ice advantage in that series. So Big Sam obviously leading the way with 76 points. We will sim to game 1 before I check the stats out. So that's a big deal for the created player. Svetch missed 3 games, still had 72 points. Aho missed 1 with 67. Canes with just a good year overall from the defense as well. Still 2 players hitting 40 points. Rookie skaters, how did Plekanec do? 16 points. Not great as a rookie, but it's fine. This guy as well also had 18 points. And goaltending, yeah, Chris was great. Again, they've both split starts. And doesn't look like either goalie grew an overall point, which is a little unfortunate, but let's check and see. Trevor, 81 points on a pretty bad Buffalo team from the looks of it. My player, 84 points. Cool. Nashville still isn't a playoff team. This just sucks, man. I feel bad for my player. Like, legitimately, I feel bad. Game 1 of the first round. Svetch gets a goal for the Hurricanes. Second period, Plekanec gives the Canes the lead after Hanifin tied it. Third period, Canes win. So Plekanec, in his first career playoff game in the NHL, ends up getting the game winner. Hanifin with 2 points in that game. Yeah, solid stuff from the Hurricanes in game 1. Let's see what happens in game 2 now. Game 2, first period, goals from Salio, Bach, and Will Looper. Second period, Laurikainen tied it, and then the Blue Jackets win. They score 3 unanswered goals, 2-3 win in game 2. So, game 4, first period. Michael Goodrow scoring his first of the playoffs. Dominic Bach getting another goal for the Canes. Second period, Foodie cuts the lead in half, and the third period, Bach gets his second of the game. Canes win, take a 3-1 series lead. Score of that game was 3-1. Game 5 in Raleigh, North Carolina. Vancouver has already advanced, as has Washington. First period, Columbus takes the lead with Laurikainen scoring. Second period, it's tied. Kevin Fiala scoring. Third period, Columbus wins. Coleman and Texier score. And Columbus takes game 5 to stave off elimination. Will Looper has been held scoreless, I believe, in the past 2 games. So it'll be Canes versus Washington, Vegas, and Edmonton. And the audio, I'm sure, has just crapped out. So I just turned Wi-Fi off of my phone. Game 6, Foodie takes the lead for the Blue Jackets. Second period, Laurikainen gets a power play goal. Third period, the Canes win. 3 third period goals, all from defensemen. Fabro, Klingberg, and Shea score. Carolina wins and takes the series. Wow, was not expecting that. So Will Looper again with no points, but it's fine. The Canes advance and will play the Washington Capitals, a team that I don't want to play. But Charlotte advances as well. They will be taking on Lehigh Valley, another great team. So that'll be a tough series for them. Game 1 of the second round, though, Canes versus Capitals. The Caps actually only finished a point ahead of the Hurricanes in the standings. First period, Big Sam with a goal. Second period, Fiala keeps the Canes ahead. And that's a game 1 win. No scoring in the third period. Canes win 2-1. All right. Balanced scoring so far. No players are a point per game. It's been pretty even throughout the lineup. Game 2 in Washington. First period. Ooh, 3 goals. Blah with 2 goals. Verano with 1. Aho, Will, and Plekanec scoring. Second period. Fiala scores. Kunkovic getting a goal for the Caps. Third period. 8-4. My God. Canes with 4 third period goals. Metropolitan and Box score. Fiala gets an empty netter, and Big Sam just says, screw you guys, with a goal to give the Canes an 8-4 win. Big Sam with a huge game there. Wow. I'm going to turn on my fan. All right. Game 3. We're in Raleigh. First period. Canes with the lead. Connor McMichael scores first, but Suzuki and Svechnikov get the goals for the Canes. No scoring in the second period. Third period, Washington wins 3 straight goals to win that game. Let's check and see how Charlotte's doing before I forget. So, audio is off again. Yeah, my internet's kind of pooping out on me right now. Charlotte's up 3-0 in their series, though, so that's good. All right, game 4. Just kidding. I almost said 5. Suzuki and Metropolitan scoring in the first period. Second period, Svech with a goal. Third period, Suzuki and Aho scoring. So Suzuki's having a really good series, I think. I think he has 3 goals. Bach with 10 points in the playoffs so far. The Canes have a 3-1 series lead. We're heading to game 5 now. First period. Washington gets out to a lead. Metropolitan scored for the Hurricanes. Second period, it's a 1-goal game. Fiala and Svechnikov scoring. Konechny's goal is the difference maker. Third period, tie game. Jamison Reese. So Carolina and Washington heading into overtime in game 5. If Carolina wins, they move on to the Eastern Conference Final for, I believe, the first time this playthrough. And if they lose, we move on to a game 6. Yeah, the audio has to be off. Trevor, if you don't mind, I'm just going to keep going. But, yeah. Aho versus Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov wins it back to Johansson. And Johnny Gaudreau with the puck. Lundin, shot, save, Chris Miracle. Alright, cool. I'm just going to keep going then. So Shea, top 10 in hits. That's it, though, for the Hurricanes. It seems like it'll start to pick up. I don't know, man. It's being weird. My internet's been sus. Google Fiber's like okay. Anthony Honka on the top pair for the Caps, which is weird. Good save, Chris Miracle on the stick side on that shot from the point. Fabro breaking the puck out. Nice play to wait and get it to Aho. And now the Canes have the offensive zone time. Svech with a shot. He scores! Svechnikov! And the Carolina Hurricanes are moving on to the Eastern Conference Final. Let's take a look. He uses the Washington player as a screen and takes the shot. We'll zoom in here. Takes the shot and goes right past the pad, or right past the leg of the player, and right over the pad and under the glove of Josh Bartosik, and the Carolina Hurricanes eliminate the Washington Capitals in overtime 5-4, and will move on to face the Montreal Canadiens. All right. So it's going to be Edmonton versus the winner of Minnesota versus Vancouver. Oh, no, we won't face Montreal yet. The AHL playoffs is over, so Charlotte swept. All right, so it's definitely Montreal. And it's a Game 7, Minnesota versus Vancouver. And Minnesota won. Charlotte, Belleville, and they won their first game. Did in these last 2 games after this. First period, Michael Gaudreau with a goal. Second period, Sebastian Aho scoring. And the third period, Jamison Reese gets a power play empty net goal. And the Canes shut out the Canadiens to win Game 2. Charlotte is up 2-1 in their series. Okay, cool. Also, sorry if the audio is off to the person who just joined. Internet kind of glitched out for a minute, so let me know if it's still a problem. Alright, so Kyler Blair we know is a medium top 6 forward. This guy's definitely a low top 6 forward. Handful of decent players in this draft that'll be available. It was me. Oh. It said I got a third viewer somehow, but it went up from 1 to 3. Oh, that's weird. Alright, game 3. Canes and Canadians. No scoring in the first period. Second period, Joni Ikonen, I believe that's how you say his name, gets a power play goal. Third period, that's a shutout, so the Montreal Canadiens get their shutout win, beating the Hurricanes 1-0 in game 3. Game 4, Canes looking for a better performance in that game, obviously. First period, Big Sam scoring a goal. Second period, Metropolitan scores for the Canes. And the third period, Metropolitan gets a goal and bang! Scores for the Hurricanes. And that's a game 4 victory. Charlotte has actually lost 3 straight after going up 2-0 in the series against Belleville. Game 5. First period, no scoring. Second period, no scoring. Third period, Montreal wins. Big Sam gets a goal for the Canes, but unfortunately it is not enough to put Montreal away, and they live to see a game 6. Speaking of living to see a game 6, never mind. Game 7, never mind. Charlotte has forced a game 7, so what we will actually do is we will simulate game 7 for Charlotte to see if they can move on to the Calder Cup final. First period, Valaket scores for Charlotte. Second period, that's a goal from Lundmark. Third period, Charlotte wins. Marr, Edwards, and Bork scoring for the Checkers. 5-1 is your final score. The Charlotte Checkers are moving on to the Calder Cup final for the second time this playthrough. First period, game 6 of the Hurricanes, though. Salio scores for the Canes in the first period. Second period, Domi ties it, and third period, Montreal wins. Brodin took the lead, but Domi and Kyrou score. We got game 7. We have game 7 in the other series, too. Edmonton versus Minnesota. Charlotte will be playing Stockton. The Stockton Heat in the first round, and we're actually going to sim every single game of this series just because it is the Calder Cup final. First period, Charlotte scoring a goal. I believe that's Engel scoring. Second period, Edwards and Pollock score. Third period, Charlotte wins. Emmerich and Varlamov scoring. Huge 5-1 game for the Checkers, and let's get that same energy going for the Canes. Let's get it going. We need it. First period, second period, okay. Third period, yeah, okay. Well, Canes lose. That's tough. That was awful. You lose 3 straight games to lose. Shit. Okay. Oh no! Stockton won the series, unfortunately. I forgot to sim all the games. Edmonton wins the Cup. Stockton wins the Calder. Sorry, I definitely forgot. Yeah, so we're going to have 2 top 20 picks in this draft. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry. Oh well. Dang. Retired players. Giroux and Duchesne are the 100-point or 1,000-point members. Duchesne is now a coach, and I won't have to hire any new coaches. Possibly. So the draft. I'm going to trade for the first overall pick. And I'm honestly okay with giving up the 22nd overall pick and the 29th. That will nowhere near get it done. Okay. Skaters matching their block. I'm not okay with getting rid of Mar, but he's a right winger. I'm okay with getting rid of Carlos. That puts it closer here. Mar's definitely going to be in the NHL next year, and he's a right winger, so I definitely could get rid of a winger. I could get rid of Hedberg too. Let's see if they say yes to this trade. Isn't where it needs to be at all. I could get rid of Suzuki, but I don't want to. Let's get rid of Michael. Woefully insufficient? What do you mean? Let's try all this. What you're sending us. I cannot believe it. I don't want to get rid of Mar because he's a right winger. I mean, he's really good. If I can't make this trade, then I'm not going to actually be too upset. Goaltenders matching block. I could trade Asham away, but I don't really want to. Yeah, I mean, don't really want to. So, like, yeah, I don't want to trade for first overall if that's how it's going to be. So we'll just get pick 22, and we'll move on with our lives. Klingberg is projected to be the better player, 3-year ETA as opposed to this guy who has also a 3-year ETA. We'll go with Klingberg here. I lack strong left wing prospects in the system, so that's a good one right there. And then at 29th overall, I think I'm just going to pick the best player available and make it work. We'll go with Kyler Blair, the gem of a left wing two-way forward, 68 overall out of the draft. 60th overall now. Very upset still. We'll draft Dale Pritchett, a center. And I don't have a third. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, because I got the first round pick. So that's fine. It's a good goalie available. There's a low elite power forward who is 19. There's a couple low elites, actually. There's no top 6. Yeah, okay. So we'll go with this guy because he's projected to go sooner. He might be a low elite. He is. Okay, cool. Will McCardle here. Low top 9 forward. Thought he was going to be low top 6, so that kind of stinks. 184th. Now this is the only opportunity we will have to draft this guy, Dominic Steskel. 54 overall. Again, not great, but 215th overall pick. So this is the last pick in the draft. Here's a low elite defenseman, Magnus Enlund. 60 overall, not terrible. Low top 6D taken after that, and then a low top 9 forward. Canes had a pretty good draft, all things considered. I am going to, after this, I'm going to stop and just kind of hang out for a little bit. I will more than likely stream later on in the day. I'm probably just going to go get a drink of water and just kind of hang out for a little bit, but I will do all of these necessary things because I will forget to do it if I don't. So we were close. That was the closest we had ever gotten. honestly, this team isn't far away, and now that I have Mar, we'll be good. Like, I have some really good players in the system. I have a good team. I have good coaches. I literally just kind of need to get a little luckier. But we will get back next time. And actually, you know what? Let's just check the future of the team real quick. Let's see how the unsigned players developed. So Blair's actually the best player available. Well, the last pick I made, the first round pick I had didn't. We signed already, and he obviously played in the NHL this year. So it's not a great draft in terms of overall. I mean, we'll sign some of these guys, but I definitely need them to grow. Like, I need this guy and these two guys to get better before I really consider it. Goaltending, I have this guy who I'm probably not going to sign because, yeah. I have some decisions that I have to make, but that'll be for next time. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see everybody next time around.